Okay, hi. Hi. We're going to try and be fast because this is actually the second time that I'm filming this. And now my battery is running low. So that's fun. Hi. If you're new here, my name is Melissa, hence the name of the channel, Melissa Renee. I live in Shanghai with my family. I have 3 kids. I have a husband who is a deputy head and a teacher at an international school. And yeah, if you have stumbled upon my channel, you might want to know what it's like living here, or any questions, right? So today I'm actually going to answer some questions, but also let you guys know where I've been, because it has been 2 months since I've recorded a video or put anything out. And I kind of feel like I need to let you know why and where I've been. So middle of summer, I decided to go back to school. And this was kind of a long time coming. Basically, the seed was planted in my mind probably about a year ago. And I just kept really thinking about it, because I would like to be a librarian. I absolutely love reading. I love basically anything to do with books. I just love them. So I decided to go back to school and get my master's in library science. It's called an MLIS, Masters of Library Information Science. There we go. It all happened very quickly. Like, I decided to go back to school. I got accepted to a school back in Oklahoma, where we're from, in the United States. And then I immediately started classes like the next week. Fast forward a couple weeks, I am now having like a lot more time to put towards my school and also creative pursuits. So YouTube for me is a creative thing. I make a little bit of money. I even made a video about it, but really this is a passion project. I just love being creative and being a part of this community. So that being said, I'm also going to be starting a second channel. Crazy, I know, but I don't feel like the audience here, you guys may not really care about my MLIS or about books that I read. And so I'm creating a second channel to just share that sort of things. It's going to be a booktube channel. If you're interested, I will link it below. I don't have any videos yet, so just be fully aware that there's nothing on it yet. I'm just creating it, and it's going to start here in the next few weeks. But that being said, I also have some Q&A questions. I posted a question on my community page like over 2 months ago, and some of you were gracious enough to reply. I actually got quite a few questions. Okay, so this question kind of was asked a couple times in different variations. What was your expectation of China, and has your perception of it changed since living here? Brandon and I decided we were very, very conscious about, as Americans, we have grown up with an idea of what China was or is, and we really wanted to push those preconceived ideas out of our mind and really be completely open-minded when we moved here. And I feel like we did a really good job of that. Granted, I had some preconceived ideas based on friends that had lived here before. Things like the spitting. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Men really like to spit here. There was other things that I was told that don't happen here. Granted, I live in Shanghai though, which is a much more like westernized kind of metropolitan area, right? It's I think maybe some of the things that still happen, maybe they're in smaller provinces. All of that to say, for the most part, all of our preconceived ideas really were kind of, if we had any, were really blown out of the water. I think that I don't know. We all have stereotypes, right? And yeah, some of those stereotypes are true. They're there for a reason. But for the most part, like, we came into this not really knowing anything because we knew we'd never lived here before, right? Anyway, overall, I think that we have been pleasantly surprised. Again, caveat is like, we live in Shanghai. So I think that my experience could be totally different if I lived somewhere else. Hello, Nora. This is Nora. We got her here in China. So that is actually another question. Have you brought any animals with you, or have you gotten any while we're here? Well, we brought one cat with us. Unfortunately, our dog Maple wasn't able to come because of COVID and everything. It was so difficult to get our animals here. And by the time we came, her documents were like basically null and void because it had been over 6 months. And so we couldn't get her over here. Well, then we were able to get Italy over here, our cat. We miss Maple every single day. That dog is just the best dog ever. And she has a great home now with kids and another dog. And so I know she's living a great life, but it like breaks my heart because we really didn't get to say bye to her because we thought she was coming back with us. And so we just kind of were like, okay, see ya. But no like real like heartfelt goodbye. So hopefully we'll see her again when we go visit at some point. But this little girl, her name's Nora, and we got her here. The animal population here is abundant and it's really sad. There's a lot of animals that need homes. And so we decided to give this little girl a home. She was a cat that was discarded with her mom and her sibling from a cat cafe. And I guess they didn't turn out the way they wanted them to. So they said, no, thanks. We don't want you. And was neglected for a really long time, a couple weeks, which in kitten world, being neglected like that. And then just, they got really sick. Like, and when I say neglected, I mean like just hanging out in their own poop and all that stuff. So she was super sick. We didn't know that going into it, but it's been probably 9 or 10 months since we got her. And I think just now she's finally starting to really like take a turn for the best. Like this is the healthiest she's been in a long time or ever. And so we love her. She is the sweetest cat I've ever had in my life. And I've had a lot of cats. So I'm curious to know what opportunity brought your family to China. And did you have any options in other countries? So what brought us here was my husband's job. Again, he's a teacher and educator. He's also deputy head of secondary for a school. When we were looking for jobs, this is our second time abroad. We were looking in Europe, but it was the height of COVID. And with that came very few jobs in Europe, if any at all. And so we were kind of relegated to looking in Asia. China was one of the best opportunities for us because we have 3 kids. At the moment, I don't teach. That's why I'm working on my MLIS. I'll be able to be a teacher as well. But it was just the best opportunity for us financially and opportunity wise, and really the only thing that was available at that time. So we were surprised we moved to China, but at the same time, I'm glad we're experiencing it. Do you intend to stay and work in China for a long period of time? And how are your kids feeling about, being in international school? So how long are we going to be here? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. If you're familiar with the international school market, you'll know that it really just kind of depends on, what the next opportunity is, where that opportunity is. And for us, timing is everything with our kids and their education. My oldest daughter, she is in her 10th grade year right now. So say we were to go somewhere else, we wouldn't really want to do that until after she graduates or within the next year or so, because we would want her like last 2 years, especially, to be at the same school. So, we're content right now. And I could see us staying for another 4 years, probably at most 4 years. But again, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Living this sort of lifestyle is really up in the air at times. And there's a part of it that I love, and then that's the part of it that I don't. I really wish there was more stability. Because it can be kind of volatile at times. My camera died, so hopefully Hopefully we're good now. Okay. Oh, how do my kids like school? How are they doing? Basically, they're doing great now. Definitely took, I think, about a year for them to really get acclimated to the International Baccalaureate, which is what they are being educated with, like the style of education. Yeah, it was just a transition going from homeschool to then American school, and then now to like a Common Core style to now the IB. They're doing really great now. I think, yeah, it's just a transition. So they're good. I think that's going to be a whole nother video. At some point, I definitely need to just sit down with my kids and ask them questions regarding how they're feeling, what they like, they dislike. We've done one other video. I can link it below, but yeah, I really don't want to speak for them because I think that's definitely something that they will have to, give you a straight answer on. Do you cook at home? What type of cuisine do you make at home? If possible, tuck into a vlog in the future. So I've touched on this before. We are a vegan family. My son is not. My daughters mostly are vegan, sometimes vegetarian. But my husband and I, we stick to a pretty, strict vegan diet, with the occasional eating a pastry or something. Like if it has some butter in it or has an egg in it, I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. I want to experience life. So do I cook at home? But yeah, so that being vegan, it really means that we need to cook a lot at home because buying and finding ingredients here that are like vegan cheeses, things like that, are a little difficult. They're doable, but they're a lot more expensive and not as, they're just not easy to find. However, if you're in Shanghai, downtown Shanghai, like there's so many vegan options. There's a pizza place called Home Slice. It's so good. So if you're in Shanghai, check out Home Slice. But yeah, there's lots of vegan options if you're vegan and in Shanghai. So best tips for someone moving to Shanghai, WeChat groups to join, ways to meet people, best areas to explore first. So I would highly recommend the touristy areas first. Now don't go on a holiday because it'll be crazy, but go and get those like really touristy bucket list type style areas out of the way. Go to the Bund, go to Jing'an Temple, go to the Pearl Tower, go to see those things because like they're really cool and you need to be able to say you've been there, right? So I highly recommend going to those places first. And then you can start to venture off the beaten path and like go to places that your friends who have been here a while might recommend, because there will be a lot. And like best WeChat groups. So I'm just going to tell you right now, if you move to Shanghai, I guarantee you will be added to a bajillion and one WeChat groups. So you don't really need to know any from me, but there are major ones like Americans Helping Americans, or, there's certain Taobao groups or things like that, but you will be told about them. I promise. And literally, like if you have something or need something, someone's going to go, oh, I've got a guy for that. And they'll send you a WeChat person and you will be able to get whatever you need from that person. It's very convenient. And at the same time, you're like, I have a million people and you have to like rechange their name in your phone. Like, oh, this is a water guy. This is who I get my deodorant from, or, whatever. It's kind of crazy. You have a lot of contacts, I promise. Oh, this is from my friend Megan. This is a good question. You had limited space to bring belongings. Is there anything you brought with you and realized you didn't need? Conversely, anything you wish you'd packed that you haven't been able to find? No, there's not anything that I wish I hadn't brought because really we didn't have that much, like really I was quelling things before I came. So I think we brought what we needed. If I was to bring anything else in the future, I would say probably more things to put on walls, like paintings and stuff. But I think I would have brought more of that. So, because it makes it homey, it makes a home like homey and cozy. I guess little things you start to kind of see like, oh, that blanket. I wish I would have brought that blanket. Or, oh, I wish I would have brought that pillow. Just little things like that kind of make a home. But for the most part, I think we brought what we needed. We can just buy anything else here. It's so easy to buy anything on Taobao. Curious with the income level compared to the living cost. For foreigners, really good. Very, very good. Yeah, I think that's really all I need to say about that. What apps I need to download before going. So I actually am going to link a couple videos below. One is some friends of mine who have left China, but they made a really great video about what maybe you need to know before coming to China, and I'm in that one. And then my other friend, Sabrina, she made a video recently about the apps that you can use here. And so I'll link that one as well. She kind of goes into detail about all of that, so I don't really need to rehash it. And then this question's hilarious. It's funny. Are you getting paid by the Chinese government, and how much? So, no, I am not. And if I was, I would let you know. But I know that there are quite a few YouTubers that people always blast them in their comments, like, you're just a talking head for the Chinese government. You're being paid off, blah, blah, blah. And I can't speak for those people, but at the same time, I can guarantee you that if anyone's being paid by the Chinese government, it's not because an official is coming over and giving them money. It's because more than likely it's a tourism board. I have been approached by a couple tourism boards. Nothing has panned out yet, but there are so many provinces and cities and towns that want foreigners to come to them, or even local Chinese. And the best way to do that is to get the word out, just like you would do in the United States. It's literally the exact same. So I know numerous YouTubers that work with tourism boards here and abroad. And so if I were to ever be paid by the Chinese government, it's going to be a tourism board, because then I would get a free trip, and that would be great. Who wouldn't want that? But yeah, other than that, no, I'm not being paid by the government. All of these things that I share are 100% my own experiences and my own opinions. Do I share everything? No, because there's good and bad everywhere you live. I try and be honest, but at the same time, I do spin everything in a positive light because I am a positive person. So there's that. Take it for what you will. But yeah, there is no payment by the Chinese government into my pocket. I mean, if they want to, that's fine. I'll go on a trip and they would like to pay me. Can honestly say this is the most asked question I get, is what VPN works the best. And we had 4 different VPNs when we moved here. The only one that consistently worked ever is Astral. Highly recommend that one. Astral, if you want to, call me, you can support my channel. That would be great. I would love that because I tell everybody about you. It's really the only one that we've had work. Now, there are local Chinese VPNs that you can use. And I have had people tell me about them, but everything's in Chinese. So Astral works fine. We stream movies. My son plays video games. It's fine. The internet is really fast here and it works. I'm going to do one more question and then I'll be done. It says, do your friends back in the States, are they surprised about, I guess, that China isn't what the Western media portrays it to be? And really, honestly, I don't really talk to my friends about it, but I know that I think it's been a really positive influence on our families. The fact that we can share with them that, it is incredibly safe here, that it is really technologically advanced, that everything's really nice and pretty. I think that has a lot of benefits for people's understanding of what China is. I think that, we are sharing our day-to-day lives, things that we are, we're not going out of our way to make something look a certain way. This really is how it is here. I mean, this is where I live. And I think that, it has been a positive impact and influence on our family, especially. But I hope it's been a positive impact on all of you too. Those of you, I get a lot of comments saying that you grew up in Shanghai and you missed it and you're really glad to see what has happened there since you've left, or people that intend to move here, but they don't know anything about it. And that's really why I started this channel, is because I scoured YouTube. Like, I wanted to find as much information as I could. And there really wasn't a ton. People would highlight the food, or they would highlight certain markets or certain aspects of China, but they would never like show day-to-day life and like really what it's like for someone like me who's just moving here with my family. So I hope that I've been that for you guys. I want to continue to be that. If you are new here and you haven't subscribed, please do that, because that really helps the algorithm and all that jazz. Also, if you're interested in my booktube channel, I will link it below. But yeah, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm sorry I haven't been here for the past 2 months, but we're good now. We're going to have more videos to come. So, all right. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.